Most traders are losing not because their setups are wrong, but because their math is wrong. They're chasing dollars, and you might be in this place too. You're chasing dollars instead of actual percentages because trading is a percentage game. And that's why your wins don't add up and your losses keep wiping you out. So watch this video and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Today, we're seeing why trading is a percentage game using real numbers in a real live chart. The first thing I want you to remember and write down is that a 1% move is always a 1% move. It doesn't matter if you have $100 or $100,000. A 1% move is simply a 1% move. The reason why people flex their different amounts of profit and they flex how much money they make is not because they are or are not a good trader. It's simply because they might just have more money in their account than you. You guys can take the exact same trade. Two traders can take the exact same trade and make different amounts of money just simply because one of us has more money. So most traders are losing because they don't understand a compounding effect. You think that you're chasing these big dollars when really you're chasing a concept that doesn't exist. The actual concept here is percentages. Again, a 1% move is always a 1% move. So if I'm always prioritizing my percentages, well, my account is going to naturally grow. So I might start with $1,000, but it's going to grow to 2,000. It's going to grow to 3,000. And that's the compounding effect where you're actually letting percentages grow your account and not your effort. Because when you're trying to chase dollars, you have now put your full effort in the front seat. It's driving the show and it's going to make you lose trades. It's going to make you miss out on your perfect setups. It's going to wipe out your account. And your wins are just never going to add up because you don't really understand compounding. You have to let your percentages stack up. It's not about making a lot of money at one time because trading is not a money game. It is a percentages game. And if you can keep stacking your percentages, then your account will naturally grow. And therefore, you can take the same trades over and over and over and over and over. And you'll end up making more money over time. Can you imagine anything else on earth where you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, but every time you do it, you make more money without more work? That is what your aim is when it comes to trading. The fact of the matter is you do not build wealth in trading or profits in trading with one big trade. You build it through stacking percentages. And that is the one thing nobody is going to talk about because this is how trading actually works. The bottom line I want you to write down is if I aim for dollars, my brain will force me to take back bad setups because it's constantly looking to try to make money and I'm going to enter a bad setup. But if I aim for percentages, aim for a good percentage return, I'm going to stay patient. And that's where you start to compound and make money with the same amount of effort, more money with the same amount of effort over time. We're about to get into the second point. Before I get into the second point, remember, think of this little example just in your mind. Imagine that you're trying to make $200 today. That pressure is going to force you to take a random setup. But what if you aim for a 0.5% or just a 1% clean move? Everything slows down and you end with a green account while everyone else is going to blow their account. This was my exact same story. I recorded it live on my channel. If you care to go watch it, it's in my live section of my channel. I traded on Black Friday where everyone blew their accounts. I still ended green. How? Because this exact mindset is how I trade and I understand that this is a game of percentages. So now let's get into the second point. We're going to walk through this exact trade you see on my screen where we're trading QQQ. We have a call set up for $630. And right now we're less than 1% up, but we are $7 in gain. Now this trade cost $882 and I have 7 contracts in position. Now, The reason that I'm showing you these numbers is in comparison to this green line that you see that says $605.40. Where we are currently in price is right along that line. And so I want you to watch how, as this candle interacts with that green line, which was my entry, how the numbers of my open P&L, which is on the screenshot, which says open P&L USD, and the numbers are in red, and now it says 0, right? So it's changing back and forth. I want you to watch how those numbers are changing, and I'm also refreshing the screen so that you can constantly see the most updated result. So I'm literally showing you how this is a percentage game, and this is something that's going to change the way that you look at trading. So right now, we're at a 0 P&L. We're inside of a trade, but we have gained nothing. We have lost nothing. Now, if you're in a trade that brings you into drawdown, which means that you're losing money and your account is red, you've lost on the trade, or you're losing on the trade, this can be one of the best spots to be in, because you can exit out that trade and you lost nothing, gained nothing, and you saved your account because you were once in drawdown. You got back to break even. This is called break even, right? You're breaking even. You're not losing anything. You're not gaining anything. And this is where you really would want to exit. But what we see is our candle starts to go above this line, above and above and above and above. So we can start to see, because we have a call, boom, there our profit goes, and it jumps to almost 0.5%, which is $3.50 according to the 7 contracts that I bought at $882 total. So this is literally what a 0.4% move looks like. Did you see that it barely moved a cent? But can you imagine how, if I was trading $8,882, how this would have ended up in a $500 gain like that from a 1% move? Now we've gone up to 0.80%, which is a little bit higher, about 2 times higher, but we're still not at $1. We're still not at 1%. But as you can see, boom, our profit just doubled. Okay, now we're above $1. I keep saying $1. We're above 1%. So now we're in $11 of profit simply from a 20-cent move. Can you imagine how this type of trading actually makes you so much money over time? Because you're not looking for the huge ones. Now we're 1.5, we're just a tiny bit above 1.5%, and boom, we had $14 of profit. Can you see how this type of trading is literally what is going to make you so many more consistent gains and close in green the majority of your trades? So most people think they need these 10% moves and these 20% moves, these 30% moves. I just showed you a 1% move that bought me $10. And yes, I used $882. That was just for the sake of the trade, to show you how it moves. But the point that I'm making is that I'm trading with less than $1,000, and I just made 10 for a 20-cent move. Made $10. So can you imagine, just off this one example, this is not exactly how somebody would trade, but it was a really good example of how your entry can be such a big difference in your percentages. Your percentages are really king in trading. It's not so much these huge moves, these different moves. It was a 20-cent move that jumped me into profit. And can you actually see, if I was taking an actual trade that wasn't moving 20 cents, but it was moving 60 cents or 70 cents or $1, how my trading actually does really well. I picked this example because it's moving very slowly. It's moving it's really interacting with this green line, which was my entry. It's really moving along this entry. So you can literally see how the literal cents to the 10th place is actually changing our profit. And so a sloppy 10% candle can ruin your account, like completely destroy it. But a really clean 1% move, while you're actually taking a real trade on the proper size, is an absolute great trade. So what I want you to do is comment below what the percentage is that you usually aim for on a daily basis. Are you usually aiming for 10, 20, 15, 1%, 2%? And do you actually hit it, or do you start to force trades trying to get more? Now, I have 3 other points that are going to solidify this, but I might need to do a part 2. So if you care to see that part 2, definitely comment down below. But the last point I'm going to go over for this video is risking per trade. So if you risk 0.5% to make a 1% back, you only need to be right 30% at the time, 34% at the time. People blow their accounts not because they trade bad, but because they risk 10% to make 2. You're risking 10% to make 2 back. And so your control is your edge. Or I should really say your edge is your controlled math. It's not a prediction. It's not you knowing what's going to happen. It's a literally controlled math of knowing how much exactly you can lose. And this is exactly the live trading that I do on my membership section. If you want to watch me trade live, I do have some videos of me actually trading Black Friday in my live section. And going forward within the next week, my live videos that will be moving into my membership section. So make sure that you're clicking the join button so that you can watch me apply this knowledge daily and that you can actually ask me questions directly. You can click the link inside of my description or in the pinned comment or just on my channel and drop your email. Let me know how much money you've made from this method, from any of my videos. And that's going to put you at the top of the list so that when you click the join button, you will get the link first and you get the lowest price so that you don't have to fight to get inside of my membership. Because once monetization hits, you're going to have to pay more and try to fight for a spot. So the link is right there. It takes 15 seconds to do that. Either way, I will see you at 7 a.m. tomorrow for my live markup session and go make some money this week.